Welcome back to ZNGP Today. Marc Marquez arrives at Motegi with the first genuine chance to clinch the 2025 championship, a result that would crown his return to form with Ducati. After extending his lead to 182 points following Misano, the mathematics and the weekend format mean Motegi offers a clear roadmap: manage the sprint, target the race, and leave Japan with an unassailable advantage. Gresini Racing owner Nadia Padovani credits a concerted, collaborative year with Marc Marquez for the transformation of Álex Márquez into a genuine title contender. With Álex and rookie Fermín Aldeguer fueling a breakthrough 2025, Padovani says shared experience, open feedback and long-term planning have propelled the Faenza team up the order. VR46 team principal Pablo Nieto insists there is no locker room vendetta against Marc Marquez and that Valentino Rossi is not pressuring riders, including Pecco Bagnaia, to kill Ducati's runaway leader. Speaking after a tour of the Tivoli facilities, Nieto stressed the team's focus is internal improvement and consistency, not an obsession with stopping Marquez. At the Misano test, Álex Márquez spent the day wrestling with MotoGP's new slide control system, a safety-first tool that also offers a performance edge when tire grip falls away. The Gresini rider admits he'd prefer to rely on pure rider skill, but with rules locked in he's pragmatic: learn it, use it, and squeeze whatever advantage it gives. Don't forget to click subscribe button and the bell icon for MotoGP news update. Marc cannot clinch the title in the sprint alone. To be champion in Japan, he must finish the weekend 185 points clear of Álex Márquez. Practically, that means Marc only needs to outscore Álex by 3 points across the sprint and the Grand Prix, a modest margin given his season dominance. If the points gap remains at 182 after the sprint, a race win on Sunday will seal the title regardless of Álex's result. The sprint is important for track position and confidence but also carries risk. Marc's best route is pragmatic: score safely in the sprint, avoid unnecessary gambles, and keep the title permutations simple. A conservative sprint that preserves the bike and tires increases the chance of executing the decisive plan on Sunday. In short, don't burn tires or take needless risks for a few extra sprint points. Motegi has been kind to Marquez historically. It's where he sealed multiple world titles and a place that fits his racekraft. That history is more than sentimental. It's experience on a circuit that rewards correct race management and late race strength. Familiarity with the venue plays into both strategy and mental calm when a title is in sight. The only way Japan doesn't deliver the crown for Marc is if Álex outscores him by 3 or more points across the weekend. That requires Álex to hit a near-perfect sprint and Sunday, or for Marc to suffer an incident or mechanical problem. Mandalika, the following round, historically hasn't been straightforward for Marc, which is another reason closing the deal in Japan is preferable. Marc's task is as much about avoiding zeros as it is about scoring maximums. With Motegi presenting the first match point, Marc must balance ambition with prudence. A title here would be the culmination of a comeback mission, proving he can still compete at the very top. But clinching early also carries the danger of complacency in the remaining rounds. The emphasis this weekend should be on controlled execution. He's shown he can manage pressure. Now it's about finishing the job without theatrics. Motegi hands Marc Marquez a simple equation and a clear path: do the basics well, avoid mistakes, and a race win or the required point buffer will hand him the championship. It's a coronation that would complete a remarkable arc, from doubt and recovery to dominance. But only if he plays the weekend with the calm, pragmatic focus that has defined his season. Padovani frames 2025 as the moment Gresini stopped being a satellite surprise and began acting like a leading squad. The mix of Alex's maturity and Aldeguer's rapid learning created a complementary locker room dynamic that delivers results every weekend. He worked with his brother for a year, which helped him improve as a driver. They also exchanged a lot of information, which was a great help for Álex. Stability and the right pairing of riders have given Gresini consistency, a rare commodity in a season defined by single-lap volatility. At 29, Álex has produced his most consistent campaign, racking up podiums in both sprints and Grands Prix and converting learning into regular points. Padovani sees this as the payoff of deliberate mentorship and shared data within the garage. She links Alex's step forward directly to the year of working alongside Marc, both for setup insight and for the psychological boost of close reference. Consistent finishes, not fireworks, are the currency of title contention, and Álex is cashing in. Fermín Aldeguer's immediate impact has tightened the team's momentum. Quick to adapt and eager to collaborate, the 20-year-old has delivered podiums that validate Gresini's investment and keep pressure on rivals. He's taken a big step forward. He's a very talented rider and learns very quickly. A productive rookie not only scores points, he widens the team's information pool and accelerates development. Padovani highlights the value of multi-year planning. Both riders are tied to Gresini through 2026, enabling engineers and riders to iterate without disruption. That continuity is central to building a sustained challenge rather than a single-season spike. Securing contracts and keeping the pair together is a strategic move to maintain growth and stability. In modern MotoGP, continuity across seasons often beats frantic, short-term fixes. Padovani acknowledges the knock-on effects of Alex's expected factory upgrade for 2026. More resources and testing access will raise expectations but also validate Gresini's project. The team's role is now to convert that validation into a sustained title bid. The factory bike will give Álex the tools to aim even higher. Meanwhile, Aldeguer's rookie rise keeps the team future-proof. Gresini's challenge is to balance present momentum with the step-up that factory machinery brings. Nadia Padovani's assessment is straightforward. Gresini's leap is the result of smart pairing, shared learning and patient planning. Álex Márquez's growth, sharpened by a year near Marc, and Fermín Aldeguer's fearless arrival have turned a mid-grid team into a genuine contender. If continuity and collaboration remain priorities, Gresini's 2025 will look less like a flash in the pan and more like the start of a new MotoGP force. Nieto was blunt. Rossi does not badger riders to defeat Marquez. The Academy founder is engaged and hands-on, but his message is constructive, not combative. Vale doesn't go to Pecco and say you have to beat Marquez. It doesn't make any sense. There isn't that obsession that people think there is. That line seeks to cool overheated paddock narratives. VR46 wants its riders to develop without the weight of an outsized external mandate. Nieto framed VR46's 2025 struggles as inconsistency rather than a lack of talent. One weekend they fight for victory, the next they miss the top 10. He urged self-criticism and analysis to close those gaps. For a team backed by Ducati resources and the VR46 Academy pipeline, stabilizing performance is the immediate priority. Continuity over headline-grabbing roster moves. Nieto praised the crop of younger riders, Pedro Acosta, Fermín Aldeguer and Álex Márquez, while acknowledging the natural ups and downs of rookies. He admitted Acosta would have been welcome at Tavalia but respected the current alignments. VR46 sees the wider grid as both competition and a talent showcase. Keeping its own house in order matters more than poaching stars. Nieto described Rossi as increasingly involved and comfortable in the team principal role, curious, engaged and growing into the post-race life most champions face. That steadying influence, a legend applying experience rather than pressure, is the message VR46 wants filtered into the paddock. On Marc Marquez's dominance, Nieto struck a careful balance, respect for Marquez's intelligence and racecraft paired with the reminder that rival context matters. He pointed out that Marquez is posting lap times comparable to Bagnaya's 2024 benchmark. Marc has had many things come together and knows how to exploit them. If Bagnaia were back to his 2024 level, the picture might be different. The subtext is clear: beatable? Yes, but only if rivals find the confidence, package and continuity to match. Nieto closed on an inward-facing prescription, honest assessment, work on the weak points and arm's-length rivalry. VR46 will keep developing its riders and tools rather than chasing a vendetta. That long-game thinking, steady development, not headline reaction, fits the team's academy ethos. If rivals want to disrupt Marquez's surge, they'll have to do it the old-fashioned way. Better laps, smarter setups and fewer weekends that swing between highs and lows. Pablo Nieto's message is as much about tone as tactics. Valentino Rossi provides guidance, not gospel. VR46 seeks consistency over confrontation, and Marc Marquez's dominance is a problem to be solved on the track, not with press room rhetoric. For a paddock hungry for drama, Nieto offers a quieter, steadier prescription: work, mirror, improve. The slide control (SC) function was introduced to reduce high sides that traditional traction control can miss. Teams have been iterating it since Austria, and Misano's work focused on understanding how the system behaves on worn tires and how it can be tuned for lap time. I'm not a super fan of that slide control. I think the rider should make more the difference, but it's in the rules and we need to take profit from it. That sentence captures a familiar paddock split: riders who dislike electronic intrusion, and engineers who see performance and safety gains. Álex sits pragmatically between both camps. Marquez and Gresini used the Misano session to compare SC maps and small setup tweaks. He topped the morning running after setup changes and ended the test second overall in the afternoon behind Pedro Acosta, a useful real-world validation of the tweaks. Tests aren't about heroics. They're about incremental improvements. For Álex, the morning gains confirmed the direction even if nothing radical changed. A key takeaway for Álex was tire behavior. The SC was most helpful as rubber dropped away late in sessions and races. He noted he was slightly quicker on used rubber in the test than he had been in the race, where the final laps had been tougher. That underlines a consistent theme. Managing late race degradation is where electronics and setup currently intersect to make or break a result. Álex arrives at Motegi with confirmation he'll have factory-spec Ducati machinery in 2026, strengthening his development role and future prospects. On the championship front, he remains the last realistic challenger to Marc Márquez, despite a big points gap. Factory kit for 2026 means more data, more input, and crucially, more weight in setup debates. Precisely the tools a rider needs when adapting to rule changes like slide control. With Marc comfortably ahead in the title race, Alex's approach is methodical: refine the package, exploit any gains the regulations allow, and deliver consistent results. He accepts SC as part of the toolkit rather than a philosophical win for rider purity. In modern MotoGP, being not a super fan of something is rarely enough. Adaptability and the ability to extract performance from the rulebook are what score points. Álex Márquez's Misano work shows the two faces of MotoGP progress: safety-driven electronics that also change the competitive equation. He's candid about not loving slide control, but clear-eyed about its value. And with factory kit incoming for 2026, he's in the right place to make this system work for him. Thanks for watching ZNGP Today, and this is your MotoGP news update. And see you next time!